What is up, everybody? It is your boy Phil Shocker, the 96 Hedgehog here with our APA Quarterfinals Team Builder. If you guys are excited, leave a like, comment down below, subscribe to join the Phil Shocker crew today because you'll be feeling with the king of the crew. And ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a rematch from week 4, if I remember correctly, going against Combat. Now, last time we faced Combat, we picked up the W. We had a little bit of hacks come our way, mostly just from getting Perez that somewhat, that somewhat mattered on some, and then some that didn't. I would say the only things that mattered in that para was definitely getting the para on both Spectre and Lycanroc. That was the only two that really mattered the most. It was relatively a hacksy game, but I am feeling a little more confident going against Combat this week. It's either going to be Combat or Scout, and I was really now hoping to face Scout. Scout's team is just way too hard to prepare and beat and handle. So I was just really hoping we didn't have to face him, and luckily we dodged him. So we will be facing Combat instead this week. And I felt more confident going against Combat because I think my matchup versus him is relatively decent versus not as much. But nonetheless, I'm excited. Excuse me, to be in back-to-back playoffs for APA, which is I think really shows my level of skill that I can make back-to-back. And in my opinion, we went 6-3 in this season. We don't really count week 10 because that was just in quotes a meme match. So in theory, we went 6-3 this season, and honestly, I'm really impressed with myself. I didn't have the biggest confidence with my team. And for the first probably 4 or 5 weeks, I think it was, we had the team that we had, and we went, I think, 3-2 or 3-1. And even after making the transactions, we only lost one of those games, and then we won every single game afterwards. So I think I've been really doing well as a battler. I definitely think I've grown in APA, and I definitely think I'm becoming more better each and every season of APA so far. So definitely, hopefully, and definitely be on the lookout for me rejoining for season 7, of course. But nonetheless, let's get into this now. So we're going to go ahead and discuss Combat's team, and then kind of go over exactly what I expect him to bring, and I also want to go over the team he brought versus us last time. Ooh, excuse me. I really don't know why I'm so tired, guys. I don't. So let's break down Combat's team. Combat's team has not changed. It is still Spectre, Sylveon, Lycanroc, Electros, Suicune, Gliscor, Metagross, Mega Heracross. I don't know why I blanked on some of these names. I don't know why. Go-Go, Alolan Raticate, god dang it, and Trubbish. So that's the team that he still has. Now let's go over the team that he had last time. And I don't know about Eevee's IV spread, but we know the moves and stuff like that. So looking at the Spectre he brought last time, it had leftovers with Will-O-Wisp, which means he tells me it's Hex. Now from Showdown Calcs, he could have been a Combine Mono Hex set. He could have been Will-O-Wisp Hex substitute with Shadow Ball, something like that to just whittle me down and weaken me down to the point where I would have been dropped from Hex or anything like that. I would probably assume he definitely run Modest last time versus me. I can definitely see him doing that again versus me as well. Definitely something to keep a note right there. So definitely a big factor right there. Last time he brought Metagross. I don't know what exactly Metagross item he was. He was not Sugar Berry. He was probably either Rocky Helmet, maybe Oka Berry, something. He could have been a lot of things. He could have potentially been. Excuse me. I just don't know exactly what he was item wise. But he had Stealth Rock, Ice Punch, Meteor Mash, and I would assume his last move was most likely Zen Headbutt. So he was more of kind of like a bulky offensive Metagross. He was probably a bit of a specially defensive Metagross of sorts with some HP investment and then with the rest in attack and defense a little bit. But overall, I think Metagross was a bit of a problem. The set it had versus us was a very interesting set, but it was not. It was still a set nonetheless. Electros, he definitely was Assault Vest Electros last time he came versus us. I definitely expect potentially another Assault Vest Electros, if not even changed it up potentially. I think knockoff Flamethrower, Volt Switch, and Discharge what he had last time. He was a bit more, somewhat specially offensive. Roughly was max HP. Definitely was something to note. So he really didn't have a lot to hit Steelix with. This was one of his only answers to Steelix. And he knew if he didn't bring this, Steelix was going to be a bit of a problem versus him, which was good to know right there as well. But overall, I think Electros was definitely something to be a little annoying, especially with knockoff. Gliscor last time he came only had Earthquake as his only offensive move. He did not have Toxic. He did not have a Rock type move. He didn't have Facade. He didn't have Acrobatics or nothing like that. He was Toxic or Poison Heal, which I do expect him to bring that again. I do expect a little bit more of a Spadef bulky Gliscor with max HP than I do see a physically defensive Gliscor. Because I believe he did bring physically defensive last time versus me over Special. But I think Gliscor is definitely a bit of annoying. Lycanroc, its last moves were close combat stun into Cellrock. It wasn't locked in of anything, so it was either Focus Sash or potentially Expert Belt. In my opinion, I think it was maybe leaning towards Focus Sash or Expert Belt, but I don't know exactly. Excuse me, guys. I'm so sorry I'm yawning so much. I don't know why. But these were the three moves. The last move I would assume was either potentially Player Off, which would have been specifically made for um specifically made for Urshifu, but then it was close combat. He could have had Sword Stance potentially. He could have maybe had Crunch. He could have maybe had some other coverage move to hit my team. I don't know what his last move would have been. And last time he brought Sylveon, it was basically mono hyper voice Sylveon basically with Heal Bell, Protect, and Wish. No toxic, no nothing. Um, so yeah, the Sylveon King definitely comes. As for everything I expect him to bring back, I definitely expect him to bring back 4 of the 6 that he brought, 5 of the 6 he brought last time. I definitely expect Rare comes. Again, I'm looking at Dark type. My Dark type is Urshifu, which can easily get countered by a few things. I think Sylveon definitely comes. Sylveon proved to be really annoying. I think Lycanroc still comes. Lycanroc's a bit of annoying as well. I definitely think Electros comes because, again, with basically having no weakness, my Steelix kind of can't 1v1 it. I definitely think it's more better. I definitely think Gliscor comes back, but I think Gliscor potentially gets rid of Taunt and puts on either Toxic or it gets rid of U-Turn for Toxic. Because I think Taunt's not a bad idea versus my team, but it's also not like it's kind of like a suicide strategy against my team because then it just allows certain monsters to just do damage. Okay, sorry I'm yawning, guys. And that's what I'm expecting. I don't think we see Mega Heracross still. I don't think we're seeing Gogoat. I don't think we see Eradicate. And I don't see Trubbish. Metagross could still come. He could bring the exact same 6 this time. But this time, I do expect him to bring Suicune. Now, the reason why I expect him to bring Suicune this time is just the fact that Suicune, if it can get behind a sub and be Calm Mind, and then 2 attacks or Calm Mind, something like that, it really pressures some stuff like my Vaporeon, which can't do anything against it. It really kind of pressures my Dracovish from doing much against it if it's just a sub. It really hinders Urshifu in a way if it gets a sub and I have to break it. Again, there's like, and even something like my Trevenant. My Trevenant is also something that's going to have to be careful to break. And there's my Rapidash as well, my Armaldo. Overall, I think Suicune is going to be the smarter bring this time. He didn't bring it last time, but I definitely think he's going to bring it this time. If he wants to bring Metagross again, he may want to either get rid of maybe potentially Lycanroc or Sylveon, potentially. If he really thinks he needs Metagross still because of Slurp Up, which if you look at Team Slurp Up, kind of just beats his team. So I don't really know, but overall, I definitely think it's going to be something that he's got to be very careful with. But as for what I expect, I think Spectre comes almost with the same set as last time. Sylveon can kind of change its setup a little bit. I kind of expect the same. Kind of expect the same set for both Electros and Lycanroc, and again, like I said, I could see a little bit of a change up in the Goliath score. So, with some of the new mons we have this time around, we're going to bring them this week as well. So, let's kick it off here. And we're going to kick it off with basically the win con here. We've got Dracovish, Mr. Vish, with Vicious Ridden Outrage, Facade, Crunch, 40 HP, Max Attack, 216 Speed. This speed lets me be faster than every single thing on his team, guaranteed. Now, I could have probably been able to run Adamant, but as a safety precaution, I am running Jolly with this speed of SS. So I am faster than everything. Now, I would have loved Adamant because I would have been able to hit and probably Oko a lot more things. But with being Jolly, I can guarantee speed control in this matchup, which is really, really good. He does not have a water resist on his team. The only resist he has, in my opinion, is Suicune. But we all know what will happen. If Suicune's weakened, 2 KO'd by Vicious Runs, it doesn't have an answer to me. So that's something to really, really keep in mind. overall, just Reykjavik is really good. I only put Crunch on there in case I just want to lock in a Crunch and just knock out Spectrier, or I want Crunch to be able to go for defense drops potentially as well. So just something to keep in mind there. We're bringing Wutai. We're pretty much bringing, I think, the almost exact same sets we brought last time. I didn't actually look back at my video. I probably should have done that maybe, but it is what it is. 140 HP, max attack, adamant, 116 in defense with bulk up, poison jab, drain punch, and wicked blow. Now, last time he brought Sylveon, I'm pretty sure Sylveon was a bit more specially defensive or mixed defensive, slightly specially more special bulk than physical bulk. I do expect him to probably run a bit of more mix, maybe a little more phys def. And if he does go on a little more phys def after one bulk up, if he's not fully physically defensive in his defense stat instead of his HP, he's gonna get knocked out by +1 poison jab. Now the thing that he was so fearing last time when we had Urshifu was Sucker Punch. He saw we had Sucker Punch, I believe. So I think he's gonna be a little intimidated or wanting to not do that. So what I decided to do this time, I changed Sucker Punch up to Wicked Blow. Now, the reason why I'm running Wicked Blow over Sucker Punch is just for the fact that I want him to think I have Sucker Punch. He knew I brought it last time because it was really good tech versus his team because of speed control. But if he doesn't be careful, I get the instant KO on a lot of things. So definitely something he has to be on the mindful right there in that type of resource. But other than that, Urshifu is going to be really able to punch holes in this man's team. Like, I think a Drain Punch into a Poison Jab almost knocks out Sylveon as it is, or Wicked Blow into a Poison Jab as does. It's just going to be such a hard-hitting Pokemon. And I really think it's going to be really good for us. We have Mystique here. Now, Mystique has not had the best seasons, but it's had a decent one. But we're bringing physically defensive Vaporeon this time. I think we brought a somewhat a little bit mixed, but I don't know. But we're bringing, I think, about the exact same stats we did last time. 196 HP, max defense with the Bold Nature, and 60 Spadef for a little Spadef bulk. His team is a little more on the physical side than the special side. We do have Toxic. Toxic is really good to just spread Toxic around. Wish is there for reliable recovery. Protect is really good to scout out things as well. And just Scald in general is really good for his team. I was thinking of potentially wanting to have Ice Beam on this set, but I didn't really see the niche for Ice Beam besides Gliscor and maybe Go-Go. But other than that, if I can burn Go-Go, then Go-Go's not that much of a threat versus me. Up next, we have one of the two MVPs of the season for us. We have Zapdos here, my voltage here, with Roost, Hurricane, Thunderbolt, Thunder Wave, 216 HP, 176 into defense, 116 special attack with the Bold Nature. This is, again, a little bit of a physically defensive. We're running the same item as last time, Heavy Duty Boots. Now, with this set, it's kind of not the exact same. This is, I think, a change as last time. But we're running Thunder Wave this time. Now, why am I running Thunder Wave this time where I didn't have Thunder Wave last time? I think Thunder Wave is going to be more important this time around because of controlling of the speed, which is going to be really important right there. And I definitely think if I can cripple things like Lycanroc speed, Spectrier speed, that actually benefits more of my team in the long run of the spectrum there. I was thinking of maybe having Defog on there to get rid of Rocks, but if you look at my team, Rocks aren't really that much of a problem versus me, and I don't really kind of care for Rocks. So, because the only thing that's going to be really weakened on Rocks is going to be my voltage. But again, we're arcing heavy DBs for that exact same reason. And just a bulky Zapdos can really do a lot in this game. We're bringing back Kanga. Again, I'm feeling really confident he's not going to bring Heracross, especially when you look at my team. Heracross now just kind of doesn't do too much that he would want. But we're bringing Kanga, our Mega Kangaskhan. I think we're changing it up the set a little bit. We're bringing the exact same set as we did last time, though. I'm pretty sure with Fake Out, Body Slam, Earthquake, and Ice Punch. Again, if we can keep the Scrappy ability, and we're going to make sure it's Scrappy in that type of situation. But with being able to keep myself scrappy, I'm able to try to keep Spectrier in check from able to do anything else. And if I can just weaken Spectrier down, I can go ahead and Mega Evolve, then click Earthquake for free, or Ice Punch for free, and just be able to stop it. Again, until he really gets rid of Kangaskhan or my Urshifu, he can't really do anything with Spectrier. And if he doesn't bring Spectrier, that'll be a little bit of a shock, not gonna lie. But it ends up benefiting me more. But overall, Kangaskhan is gonna be really strong this game. 116 HP, max attack out of it, 64 defense, 76 depth. Just a little bit of bulk in this Pokemon, but overall, it's gonna be a very power-heavy hitting Pokemon for us this week. And last but not least, Amala actually can put in a lot of work this week if we play him correctly. It is my Trevenant Forest here. We only have brought Forest to one game. I don't think he's going to expect me to bring Forest this week, but I think Forest actually can put in a lot of work. We're in Chirping, Poltergeist, Horn Leech, and Poison Jab. 156 HP, max attack, adamant, 100 in the F. Spadef. Basically under Trick Room, this thing can just plow through hard in his team. It really just puts in a lot of work on his team. I wanted to run Expert Belt, but there was a couple of things that worried me from running Expert Belt. There were a couple of things that kind of scared me away from it. The main thing is Spectrier. I want him to kind of think about wanting to click I mean, he can freely kind of click it, but he can also click Will-O-Wisp, which is something I have to be careful. But if I can get this thing under Trick Room before he does anything else, it's really good. And even if he does try to burn me, I don't care, because with the Cassette Berry, I can still live a hit from him, and it can do a lot of damage with either Horn Leech or Poltergeist, which is still really good nonetheless. But overall, Trevenant, as long again as that Sylveon's not max, it can be able to Poltergeist Poison Jab to be able to knock it out. And then, again, if you really look at his team, Poltergeist is pretty much free against everything on his team. So if we get this thing under Trick Room, we can really put in work. And I do expect Trevin to hopefully put in a ton of work for us this season. Not this season, but for this matchup. But that's going to be it for us, guys. Leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new. Join the Fresh Soccer Crew today because you feel with the king of the crew. And if this is the second time in a row we end up losing in quarterfinals, you know what? All I got to say is that we made back-to-back playoff runs. And that's all I can say I'm proud of. We've made now 2 playoff runs. Well, technically speaking, 3 playoff runs in APA. I didn't think we would make 3 playoff runs, and we've always lost in the quarterfinals. Can third time be the charm and make at least semifinals? I'm hoping so. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Hopefully we make it out, and I hopefully see you guys in the playoffs, and hopefully us reach the semifinals. But until next time, guys, peace.